Hi friends, welcome back to Southwest Homestead as I continue with the Every Bit Counts Challenge sponsored by Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead. Lots of other YouTubers and Instagrammers are participating in this challenge where we try to preserve at least one thing every day in the month of August. Today I am pickling some quail eggs. I hard boil those in my Instant Pot with 2 cups of water, put them on pressure cook for 2 minutes, let them cool naturally, and then dunk the eggs in some ice water, which makes them easy to peel. Quail eggs are a little bit tedious to peel, but I just sit and do it while I'm watching some TV. They're bite-sized and they're wonderful. On day 4 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge, I canned some kidney beans. They will be used for chilies, soups, stews. They're just handy to have on hand on the shelf, already cooked and ready to go. But they cost so much less than store-bought canned beans. I mean, they are pennies per serving. So it really is worth the time and effort, and they're just an easy canning project. Now, this is not a video about canning, so I won't describe the process, but I will do other videos in the future that describe exactly the process, and you can look at some of my other videos to see step by step how to can things using the pressure canner. Now I add about a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar to my canning water because that helps to reduce the hard water buildup on the jars and on the inside of my pressure canner. After wiping the rims, debubbling, and putting the lids on, they went into the canner and they were processed at my elevation of 6,000 feet for 75 minutes for pint-sized jars. Day 5 was a work day for me, so I quickly put some more of the abundant zucchini out of my garden into the freezer. This time I diced it up and I vacuum sealed it in a freezer bag to go into the freezer for future use. Now day 6, made a trip to Sam's Club and I picked up this roast and I divided it up to use for 3 meals. I vacuum sealed 2 maybe steak-sized fillets for my husband and I. That'll make 1 meal. And I just put those in a vacuum seal bag and dated it to put in the freezer. Vacuum sealing is a wonderful way to preserve your meat for longer. If you're using something really moist, you want to dry it up as much as possible, otherwise your bag may not seal properly. So you want to pat that down with a paper towel before you put it in the freezer bag. Otherwise the juice will prevent that seal from forming on the top. Now with the remainder of that roast, I cubed it all up and I am using pint and 1/2 size canning jars. I have only ever seen these from Azure Standard, but they're right in between a pint and a quart-sized jar, and they're perfect meal size for my husband and I. So I will dice that meat up, put it in canning jars. I probably will put maybe an eighth of a teaspoon of Redmond's seasoning salt over these. And then I will pressure can them. For my elevation of 6,000 feet, what I did is I took the time that it takes to process pint jars, which is 75 minutes, and the time that it takes to process quart jars, which is 90 minutes, and I added the two and divided by 2 to get an average. And my average time came out to about 83 minutes. So that's how long these went in the canner for. Now I poured boiling water over these, and it caused them to start to turn a little bit brown before they were cooking, but it doesn't matter because when they are in the pressure canner cooking, they will turn completely brown while they cook. So that didn't hurt anything. Now I'm debubbling here, wiping the rims with white vinegar because I don't want any fat on the rim of that jar. Otherwise my lids might not seal. I used just a little bit of vinegar this time in the canning water to prevent hard water buildup. I processed for 83 minutes for my elevation. I ended up with 2 1.5 pint jars of beef that I'll use for future meals. Those can be used for chili, stew, soups, beef stroganoff, all kinds of things. Thank you for visiting Southwest Homestead.